Welcome to the Jasmine Oilfield Offshore Facilities operated by Mubadala. For your convenience and safety, please give us 15 minutes to introduce you to this safety information in case an emergency situation may occur. Safety, security, hygiene, and the environment are the responsibility of all, from the field manager and offshore installation manager down to the catering staff. You will be required to adhere to the company's Operation Management Framework, the OMF policies and regulations whilst working offshore on the Jasmine Field offshore facilities. The OMF is the boundaries within which all Mubadala Petroleum operational sites operate. The Jasmine and the Ban Yen Fields offshore facilities consist of 1. SPF 003, 2. 5 wellhead production platforms, namely A, B, C, D, and Ban Yen A. For your safety, if an emergency situation occurs, we ask you to be fully familiar with the actions required, so please pay careful attention to this safety instruction to ensure you do understand. Let's start with the SPF 003 FPSO. FPSO stands for Floating Production, Storage, and Offtake. All subsea lines are commoned up before reaching the SPF 003. Enter the turret, and then through the crude oil processing. The ship can currently store up to 500,000 barrels of crude oil. This FPSO was designed and built to comply with International Oil Tanker FPSO standards. Everything on the SPF 003 has been developed to ensure that we do not compromise the vessel's safety performance. We divide the safety details of the SPF 003 into 3 systems. System 1, the Safety Management System, SMS, regulations relating to the safety and security on board. System 2, Hygiene, Safety, and Environmental Standards System. Safety 3, Safety Evaluation, Analysis of Dangers and Risks that require mitigation. Procedures and regulations on the SPF 003 have been developed to ensure that the highest safety levels are maintained. Please take your time to read and understand our safety procedures and regulations. Responsibility for the Jasmine Oilfield facilities rests with 2 people. The OIM is the person responsible for the safety of this FPSO operation, and the field manager is responsible for all field operations, specifically the safety on board and the wellhead exit. These 2 persons' names are displayed on the board in the helicopter muster station room. The SPF 003 FPSO is made up of the following decks. Situated on the C deck are the offices of the SPF 003 OIM and field manager. Outside the C deck is the helicopter landing area. This is a dangerous area. Stay clear. The next lower deck is the U deck. This is where you are presently situated viewing this safety introduction, i.e. in the helicopter administration office. The deck also contains accommodation rooms. This also becomes the helicopter assembly point in the case of an emergency evacuation by air. The next deck down is the L deck. It contains accommodation rooms. Also on this deck level we have a medic room, telephone room, and laundry. The next deck is the B deck. Here we have the CCR, or Central Control Room, dining room, galley, and smoking room. The dining room is also the muster station room. Smoking is only allowed in the smoking room on this floor. You can read from the instructions in the SPF 003 safety book provided. You must be familiar with the layout plan of this vessel and how to get to the muster point, lifeboats, and other life-saving appliances such as the life rafts. In your accommodation, you will find a life-saving kit consisting of an emergency light, flashlight, gloves, and a smoke protection hood. This smoke protection hood will allow you to breathe in a smoke-filled environment for up to 15 minutes. Remember, you must know your way to the muster station in case of an emergency. Please start studying these instructions in your own room. It may very well save your life in an emergency. Green fluorescent arrows refer to the closest fire exit. This exit leads you to the muster station. Notice everything from the routes you walk along. You may have to crawl along the escape route in the dark, filled with smog and smoke. So while working on the FPSO, you should observe and remember your escape routes. After this introduction, you will receive a name T card from the medic to be used as your ID card on the muster board. You must put your T card, green or red, into the same color muster board. The muster board is located in the B deck dining room. There are two types of emergency alarms. 1. General alarm. This is a continuous ringing sound. It is used, for example, when we have a fire, a gas or oil leak, man overboard, helicopter emergency, or serious injury. On hearing this alarm, you must stop work, switch off any equipment, place them safely, and go immediately to the muster station. All PPE must be worn for emergency musters and drills. You will be updated regularly on the emergency situation and what actions you must take. 2. Abandoned ship alarm. This will ring intermittently. On hearing this alarm, you must stop work, switch off all equipment, place them safely, and immediately go to the lifeboat that is assigned to you. You should listen carefully to the announcements and instructions at this time. If you hear the abandoned ship alarm, or you are informed to gather at the lifeboats that are located on both sides of the ship, go there immediately. For those personnel inside the accommodation rooms, please take your life jacket with you. You must follow the commands from the coxswains of the lifeboats, as they are responsible for assisting you. After the muster, remember, do not put on the life jacket prior to or after entering the lifeboat. Just carry it into the lifeboat. Please pay attention and perform the exercises as if they were a real situation. In case you are unable to access the lifeboats, there are life rafts available. Read the instructions on how to release the retaining strap from the life raft and how to launch the life raft into the sea. On the starboard side of the bow, close to the turret, is the emergency muster station for those who cannot return to the mess hall muster point during an emergency situation. If you are working on the deck or the turret of the SPF-003, you must be familiar with the operation of the controlled descent device for escape to the sea. Ensure that the use of this device is explained by the operations supervisor. Around the FPSO, there are 16 life buoy rings. Each ring has a light or smoke release that will automatically be actuated when it is in contact with the sea water. If you see someone in the sea or falling into the sea from the SPF-003, you must assist by throwing the life buoy ring close to them, as displayed in this presentation. Remember, do not directly aim for the person with the life buoy ring, as he will suffer more difficulties if you do hit him. Use your radio or initiate the closest fire alarm button and shout, "Man overboard," to alert the others. Remember, never lose sight of the man overboard. All work on this FPSO and wellhead platform is carried out under the permit to work system that is subdivided into 3 types. 1. Cold work permit. 2. Flame hot work permit. 3. Non-flame hot work permit. Besides these 3 permits, there are also accompanying certificates such as electrical and mechanical isolation certificates and confined space entry certificates. Gas testing must always be performed when working in a hazardous area and confined space. All work permit forms will be signed by the head of departments, HOD, OIM, and registered in the CCR prior to work commencing. The field manager must also be aware of any JV hot work activities planned and in the process of execution. For your safety on board, it is compulsory that you wear the standard PPE, which are safety hard hat with chin strap, safety glasses day and night, ear protection for excessive noise, working uniform or coverall, gloves, and safety shoes.